I am in a little bit of a pickle. I bought Apple's new Airpod Max, and my wife asked me, why would you spend $800 on a pair of headphones? And I thought, that's a darn good question. Why would I spend $800 Canadian on a pair of headphones? And then I had a brilliant idea. I said, because you were really interested. I said, because you, my YouTube audience, really were demanding that I create a video on the Airpod Max so you can make the decision whether or not you want to explain to your significant other why you're spending $800 Canadian in your equivalent currency on a set of headphones. So I sure hope that you want to see a video on the Apple Airpod Max, because I told my wife that we would make enough money from this video to cover them, and I'm not sure we're going to. Today, we're going to take a look at Apple's new flagship headphones, the Airpod Max, on Dottotech. Steve Dotto here. How the heck you doing this fine day? I never thought I'd pay $800 for a pair of headphones, but I did. I bit the bullet and I bought Apple's Airpod Max. How do they look? Look good. I guess at $800, it's not important not just how they sound, but how they look. So I hope I am looking pretty good and not foolish to you. Now, I need to start out this demo today by saying I'm not an audiophile by any means. So this demo is not going to help you make a decision whether or not these headphones really fit the bill as far as an audio product. Although I will say they sound amazing. They just flat out sound amazing. But I don't know if the fidelity that these headphones generates is better or worse than other comparably or even lesser priced wireless Bluetooth headphones. I just don't know. Going by other reviews, it seems that they are a worthy competitor, but I'm not going to talk to you about the audio quality per se, other than they sound amazing. Now, these are the third set of AirPods that I've bought, and we have videos on both of the old school original AirPod and the Airpod Pros, which have been my daily driver for over a year now. We have videos on these, so you can check them out, which we will link to in the description. But I've ended up using, as I say, the Airpod Pro as my daily earbud drivers for about a year. And while I like them, I don't love them. I was frankly ready for a change. I find them technically very, very good. Their integration with Apple's ecosystem is amazing, which is really the biggest strength of all of Apple's AirPod lineup. But I didn't find them particularly comfortable. I didn't like the feeling of them in my ears, and my ears seem to get fatigued having them in it. I don't know if that's a proper term, but I actually prefer the fit and the feel of the original AirPods more than the Airpod Pro. But I had these and I'd already given away my AirPods, so these were the tool that I've been using for the last year. So I was really looking forward to the release of the Airpod Max, because I really wanted to see what the world would be like with over-the-ear earphones being used on a regular basis by me instead of the earbuds. Let's kick things off by talking about the industrial design and the integration of the Airpod Pro, because if you're going to spend a premium on Apple products, you're paying for the design excellence, and so you're paying for a high-quality product, but you're also paying for how well it integrates with the Apple ecosystem. That's the story behind the previous versions of the AirPods, and it's certainly the story around the Airpod Max. Now, the design, it is absolutely spectacular as far as industrial design is concerned. The ear cups are made of metal. They say that they're relatively heavy compared to other wireless Bluetooth headphones, but I don't find them to be uncomfortably so. I haven't owned other ones, so I can't tell if they're more or less comfortable. But the weight doesn't seem to bother me at all. But as you look at the design itself, you start to see some of the incredible touches. They've got this mesh here on the headband as a suspension to make it comfortable on the top of your head instead of having padding. It's very reminiscent of Herman Miller chairs of that design, and it's a nice cushion, and it feels like it's going to just last forever. It doesn't feel like it's going to break apart at any point. The ear cups themselves as well are really interesting design. They have memory foam on the inside, and they actually clip in and out, which is a little stroke of genius. So if you wear them out, you can replace them. And this is awesome, because my last pair of over-the-ear headphones were admittedly a cheaper pair, but the cheap plastic has started to come apart, and I would always be left with flecks of nasty plastic on my ears as I used them over time, and there was no way to repair them. They have memory foam. The cup itself is made out of memory foam, so incredibly comfortable. And one thing that I noticed that I really appreciated wearing these was, first of all, with the elongated design, they're very comfortable. Unlike other headphones, I've got some nice Beats headphones that press on the ear, and I find that to be uncomfortable, especially wearing glasses, but these encompass the full ear. I think even Vulcans would have room in there for their ears. But the other thing that I really appreciate is I don't find it to be sweaty. I don't find, and nothing's worse than having sweaty ears as far as I'm concerned. If a long editing session, if your ears are all sweaty and kind of moist, it's rather distasteful. But my ears stayed relatively cool in these because of the cloth nature, I believe, and probably also just because of the amount of space that they had around it. So the design itself is really very appealing as far as all of the industrial design goes. It's infinitely adjustable using the machined slider here for the head. So, I just don't think very few companies are going to be able to do a better job on industrial design than Apple. Now, is this worth the premium we pay for the price? I don't know, but it better be there. While we're here, let's talk about the controls, of which there are only 2 controls. And it's dead simple, but very elegant as far as the controls go. With the AirPods, you had to learn how to do different taps or different pinches in order to advance tracks or invoke Siri or move from mode to mode. You have just a crown here, which is very reminiscent of Apple's Watch. It's a crown that you can press down to advance songs or to answer the phone and turn up or down for volume. Very easy to adjust the volume right on the headset. That's something that I found I really liked being able to use as opposed to reaching down to your device and doing it. And the other button here just toggles between transparency mode, which allows you to have the outside world sound come through the earpieces, or noise cancellation mode, which of course muffles out everything and isolates you. But if you're taking them for a walk, you're going to want to go into isolation. You're going to want to go into transparency mode so you don't feel as isolated, so you can hear traffic around you, etc. So that's the controls are super easy to use. Now, while we're on the topic of the controls and that part of the design, the curious part of the design is this: Apple's very strange, almost fetish-like carrying case. It's been widely ridiculed online, justifiably so, in my opinion. It's a strange and not particularly appealing case. I think they could have done a better job on the case. Now, it is a minimalist design, but it doesn't protect the headphone at all, the top of the headphone at all. So if at some point we do get to travel again, it's going to be kind of exposed as you carry it in your bag, as opposed to a case that encompasses the whole headphone. So I don't give Apple quite full marks there. While we're on criticism, the other curious part of the design is the fact it is using Apple's Lightning port for charging the device. Now, the battery life is exceptional in these. It's 20 hours. Yesterday, I had them running all day long. I left them on all day long, and they still had plenty of charge left at the end of the day after, kind of putting them through a marathon listening day. So it lasts for a long time, and they charge fairly quickly when you plug them into the Lightning port. But it's curious that Apple chose to go with their old school technology, which we understand is slowly being phased out, and not incorporating USB-C here as the interface for the charging port. And also, there is no headphone jack. So if you do want to be wired into a system, again, if we end up being able to travel some point in the not too distant future, if you want to be able to listen to a plane's entertainment system using the headphones, you're going to require an adapter, a little adapter that'll convert the Lightning cable into the RCA jack into the mini 3.5-inch jack, so that you can plug into the plane's entertainment system. And if and when we can travel again, these will be the headphones that you want. The noise cancellation is wonderful. They're so comfortable on your head. I think that they are going to be a really good choice for travelers. Let's cross our fingers that happens in the not too distant future. Now, as far as the technology that's built into these, it is flat out amazing. I think they have 9 microphones built in. I know that's passing strange again, is it not? 9 microphones built into headphones. Shouldn't we be talking about the speakers? No, the microphones are really important. Only one of them is dedicated to voice. If you're using your AirPod Max and you want to make a phone call, only one of the microphones is dedicated to voice. And to be honest, it's pretty crappy. The audio quality on the other end, as far as that's concerned. But the rest of the microphones, what they're doing is they're listening to the sound around you, and they're using what they hear, what the microphones, to inform the H1 audio processors, which there's one in each ear cup, on how to modify the sound to make it sound more natural. Isn't that strange? But it's looking at all of your environmental sound. And several of those microphones are inside the ear cups themselves, doing things like determining whether or not you're wearing glasses and whether or not the earmuff is being compromised by the glasses going through the earmuff, or even the hard plastic of your glasses within the earmuff. So it's doing that in order to, as faithfully as possible, replicate listening, replicate the audio fidelity. So regardless of everything else, technology-wise, Apple is just knocking it out of the ballpark as far as this goes. Now, speaking of audio quality, as Apple is want to do, they've included some special technology leveraging off of those built-in processors that they call spatial audio. And spatial audio is supposed to replicate a kind of a surround sound system within your headphones. Now, as stereo headphones, they're brilliant. When you test out the spatial audio, you will indeed be impressed with how they can move the sound around you in the environment just within the earpieces themselves. But recognize that only audio, only film or movies or television that's encoded with the spatial audio is going to be able to be replicated. And you have to turn it on in settings. But certainly those of you that live completely within the Apple ecosystem, I imagine that on Apple TV, for example, we're going to have lots of different options to be able to view different content using the spatial audio. So that is a part of it. Now, the other technology aspects of it, in as far as integrating in its overall, the overall environment, one of the nice things is how easy it is to transfer the AirPod Max from device to device. Now, I use it regularly on 3 devices, and I'm going to tell you about a bonus device in a moment, which was really one of the things that turned my attitude from kind of, okay, I like these, but they are a guilty pleasure, into something that, oh no, there's some real huge value here. So I'll tease that for a moment. But as far as integrating with the whole ecosystem, it's super easy to install them and to get them working, and very easy to transfer them and to access the headphones on the fly from one device to another. So for example, I listen to podcasts and a little bit of music from my phone. I listen to television or movies on my iPad, and I use them on my computer for editing video and doing podcast editing, etc., or even for video conferencing calls. And so just simply, as soon as you open the lid of the case, open the case up and then take the headphones out, you'll see that my iPad here has already said, do you want me to connect here? And my phone is saying the exact same thing. So all of the different devices give you the option to immediately connect as soon as they recognize that the Max is close by. So there's a nice piece of integration there. There was a period of time that I was experiencing that was a little bit of a challenge sometimes, moving my AirPods from one device to another, and they would get a little bit confused. Apple seems to have sorted all of that out now with the Max. Now, let me tell you about what I think was actually the coolest thing that surprised me. I mean, I do like the sound, and I'm happy overall with the headphones themselves and the comfort and all of the things I've said. But I noticed I recently got a fairly new television, and I noticed that it has a Bluetooth connectivity built into it, specifically designed so you can connect Bluetooth speakers. But I've noticed that my iPad and my phone try to connect occasionally to the television. So I had a stroke of genius, because the new television is in a fairly public space. It's in a kind of a great room with our kitchen attached, so it can be a little bit noisy down there occasionally. I thought, let's try pairing the headphones to the TV and see what happens. And so I went into the device settings within the Samsung television, and I imagine most TVs that have Bluetooth will have the exact same capability. And I was able to quite easily pair the AirPod Max with our television. And I have to say, what a pleasure sitting down watching football while my wife is working on her homework, or while they're cooking in the kitchen, turning on noise cancellation and watching a movie. It's terrific being able to be still in the environment with everybody else, but isolating the sound. That adds a lot of stress to an environment. I think we'd all agree on that. Allowing me to enjoy what I'm viewing, but still be kind of part of the rest of the family. It's pretty cool. I really like that, and it's this hidden surprise that makes the price tag maybe a little bit easier to swallow. If you are going to invest this much money in a set of headphones, they better be serviceable, especially since they have batteries that you will, at some point, if you use them enough, require replacement. Apple has made them serviceable. I'll include a link to a couple of teardown videos where they take them apart to show you how you get inside. But like many of the other Apple ecosystem tools, it's not going to be user upgradable. You're not going to be able to open it up with a screwdriver. I've got an iFixit kit. I can take the screws out, but they've glued in the inner ear cup, so the headphones have to be heated up to melt the glue in order to remove that, and that is beyond my capability and beyond yours. So when they require service, when the batteries require replacement, I will be taking them to an Apple authorized service center, but I expect that the repair should be reasonably priced and quite accessible, because as you'll see if you view the teardown videos, Apple has made them pretty easy to repair, it appears, at least to us at this point. And the one other thing which I haven't mentioned up to now, which is really probably the thing that I'm already using them the most for, is to help me in productivity. I love using task music to help me stay focused on tasks. Applications like Brain FM or Focus at Will has scientifically designed music that enhances your focus and concentration and allows you to be more productive. I used to use it all the time with my Airpod Pro, but as I said, I didn't find them particularly comfortable. These I can wear all day, and I'm really enjoying them, using them, just sitting here at the desk, working away as I'm focused on my different projects. That is something that I thought I would find tremendous value with this style of headphones, and indeed that has borne out. So that brings me to the summary. Do I think it's worth it? I like them. I just, ignoring the fact that they're ridiculously expensive, they are going to be a tool that I am going to get a lot of use out of. I will be using them almost every day when I'm sitting at my desk. I will be using them many days for entertainment. I expect to get many, many hours of use out of these Airpod Maxes. Would I be as happy with a cheaper pair of Bluetooth headphones from another manufacturer that does excellent work? Probably, but the integration with the Apple ecosystem is nice. I never have to worry about how it's going to connect, and it's already becoming second nature, incorporating them into my daily routine. So overall, I'm happy with mine. I'm sure you will be as well, should you choose to get them. And hopefully this video can help convince those people who look over your shoulder as far as how you spend your disposable income, and help convince them as well if you decide to take the plunge. I hope you found our video to be useful, and you can help me out. Please, please help me out in this one. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave us a comment, share it with others, and check out our other videos here on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you hear when we upload new videos. Till next time, I'm Steve Dotto. Have fun storming a castle.